And that shot should leave no doubt as to where we are tonight. It's the Toyota Center here in downtown Houston, Texas. Good evening and welcome to tonight's presentation of Noche La NBA, an annual tradition in the NBA celebrating diversity and culture, and always a pleasure to bring it to you. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is on our sideline. Now we have a moment to look at how the blocks have been stacking up over the past several months for Steven Adams.
We're just not seeing that same fierceness out of him defensively these last few months. He's lost a little bit of that intimidation factor. He's not blocking as many shots, and he's not making the same impact on that end of the floor.
And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge on the sideline. David?
Well, Kevin, thank you. And Kevin Porter Jr. has a new start with the Rockets. His game has been compared to James Harden's. Porter said, being a lefty, creating off the dribble, that extra swag with the step back, I couldn't ask for a better comparison, honestly. He's unguardable. And Porter Jr. should know, guys, he's the youngest ever to drop a 50-point double-double with assists.
That was an impressive performance. David, thank you for that story. And tonight, Greg, two teams with a lot of history that know each other very, very well.
And sometimes familiarity breeds contempt. And that goes for the players, coaches, and fans.
And the starting group for the Grizzlies. Adams at center with Jackson next to him. Then it's Williams. Then there's John Morant. And it's Bane in at the 2. And for the Rockets. And the wings, Green. And Tate. The pairing up front, Tice and Wood. And it's Wall in at the point guard position. Pass to Bane. And there's the drive. Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
Oh, fellas, that was vicious two-hand monster slam.
Guys, I don't think there was anyone who could have stopped him on that one.
Well, guys, I'm glad they didn't try because I don't want anybody to get hurt out there.
And out of bounds as Memphis gains possession.
Memphis ball.
And here's Morant. He'll bring it up for the Memphis Grizzlies. They just couldn't come out on top last time they took on the Rockets. That one was played down in Houston.
Yeah, I mean, on the road, their defense was just overrun. Couldn't match the intensity of the opponent, and it cost them.
And you know what, guys? It just seemed like they never really had the kind of energy necessary. They just weren't comfortable on the defensive end.
And that was all Morant. Aware of the defense, figuring out how to get to his spot.
Here's Wall. That one doesn't drop. Adams, some nice D. Here's the break. Jackson misses.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Here's Green. It's good.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
Now here's Morant. He had a 24-point outing in their last game against Atlanta.
And don't forget about his assists. His playmaking was as good or better than his scoring. He was in complete control out there.
And the dunk by Jackson.
And a guy who can drive and finish with either hand. Jackson's tough to stop once he gets going downhill.
The Rockets have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. All taking his time here. And finished off by Wood.
Wood flying up to slam down the alley-oop. Emphatic.
With the assist.
Well, it was the Memphis Grizzlies winning their last game against the Hawks in Atlanta.
And, you know, we talk about how Wood has moved around the league. He also attended 3 different high schools. So he's been searching for direction for a long time. And one step ahead of the defense with that solid screen.
And then, Greg, the monster dunk to finish it off.
Boy, picture-perfect teamwork that time, guys. One guy sacrificing for the other. That's how you succeed in this league.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
And now Wood is laser-focused, putting up all-star numbers over long stretches.
And you look at where he started compared to where he is now, Wood may be one of the most improved players we've ever seen, especially if he continues to ascend from here. Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
And you know what? They're going to keep using him. I mean, he'll be the centerpiece of their offense today.
Oh!
Yes, sir! Yes, sir! My goodness. Boy, that was awesome from Wall. He's got one of the tightest handles in the association. We call that rush hour handle.
Nice job capturing the moments on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Morant against Wall. Passes it to Williams. Morant left side. Just 5 on the clock. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession.
And now look at the numbers for Jaren Jackson. Unbelievable play for him over the last month. 4th in field goal percentage and tremendous confidence and consistency at the foul line. He ranks among the top 15 in free throw percentage.
And yeah, he's such an efficient scorer. Understands the offense. Moves without the ball so well. That's why he's top 5 in field goal percentage.
You get open and Wall will find you. He's got one of the best assist averages in NBA history.
Williams passes to Bain. Misses the 3.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Now Wall. 14 points from him the last game against Indiana. To the left side wing. Back to Tate. There's Green with the 3. It's rebounded by Memphis. Bain passes to Morant. Outside Williams to the paint. Here's Adams. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Tate.
And late in the season, we see playoff teams break, resting their star players. Any excuse for lottery teams doing the same thing?
Not as far as the league is concerned. If they're healthy, what's the goal? Throwing away games is not acceptable.
And he knocks down the first one.
And I've heard Adams is a big gamer, video games. I mean, he doesn't watch sports in his off time like a lot of guys. He'd rather have a controller in his hand.
He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line. One area where Wood does a lot of the damage is in the screen game.
Yeah, he's done a really good job understanding how to roll into scoring opportunities. He can pop out and hit the 20-footer as well, and these are the big man skills that teams are looking for in the way the game is played today.
Here's Bain. Tate covering. Bain passes to Jackson. The dish to Adams. Right at the free throw line. Good.
Steven
And
Adams.
this is where Adams has the biggest impact. The closer to the basket, the more effective he is.
Now here's Wall. He's someone who's a factor on any given night, averaging more than 22 points a game. Tries again. And the rejection by Jackson. Now here's Morant. Not a lot of room. Can't cash in from close range. He gets that one.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
You're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
Here's Tate. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
And he just punishes the D for falling asleep at the wheel.
A little disorganized that time, and the result, 2 points in the loudest way possible.
Guys, there has to be better rim protection than that, though. Not very good.
Here's Bain. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Atlanta.
Boy, he was piling up those assists in that one. I mean, every pass seemed to be on time and on target.
Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. Let's pause for a moment to show you the teams that have been the best on the glass over the course of the month. In third, the Grizzlies.
I mean, they've taken their rebounding to another level, getting physical and playing with a ton of energy.
Martin, he's checked in for Houston. Evan Fournier comes in for Tate. And here's Wall. And it goes down 2 points.
Confidence is so important at this level, and Wall has it. He takes pride in finding ways to score inside.
Wall against Morant. There's the drive. No good that time. And Houston the other way.
Jackson Jr.
This kid throws down some mean dunks. Jackson showcasing his athleticism on that one.
Inside. And it's Martin that time on the assist from Wall. Wall's got his 5th assist in this one.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Morant passes to Bain. Pass to Williams. Shades over Fournier. Here's Adams, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Adams has got 5 points so far.
They have to put a body on Adams. He's too good of an offensive rebounder to not pay attention.
Here's Wall. The wide open look here for Wood. Offline with his 3.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
The putback, Jackson. The putback is no good. Rockets trail by 4. Back to Wall. Shoots over Morant. And too long on the shot.
Guys, this hasn't been his quarter. I mean, to me, he just doesn't look completely comfortable or confident.
Good. The nice assist for Williams. He's got 7.
Oh, pretty stroke on Morant's long-range bomb there. When he's knocking down the shot from deep, he can be lethal.
All with it. To the middle. Here's Martin, and finished off by Martin.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board. And I don't mean style points.
Hey, I thought there was some style there, guys. What are you guys looking at? I mean, it was still a pretty sweet, flavorful one-hand flush.
And Jackson gets it to go.
And off to a strong start offensively. He's got a nice touch.
So it's the Rockets now. They trail by 7. Defeated by the Pacers in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
Painful to watch, guys. You could see their frustrations mounting, unable to get into any kind of a rhythm whatsoever.
Yeah, they had no answer for them. They simply got outplayed and outworked.
And the pass to Bain. Looking for Adams. He gets it there. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
That's his first personal foul. Second team foul.
Force. Adams is about
At the line
270,
for the Grizzlies.
and that's all nasty.
Steven
Very
Adams
hard to contain.
taking
He
2
draws
shots.
a lot of fouls.
And the first one drops. So both teams making some changes here. And so he hits both. Rockets trail by 7. Now Porter, looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. 14 feet away. Martin kicks to Nwaba. A 3-pointer, no good.
just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds. And they look strong here in the early going.
Stolen by Martin. Dishes to Porter. Takes it inside, and the shot goes down.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
You know, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
Pass to Jackson.
2 minutes remaining in the first. 2 minutes.
Kick out to Adams. Back to Jackson. That's good. And it's his fourth basket of the game. He's a strong 4 for 6.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Passes it to Nwaba. There's a minute 34 left to play in the first. Clock at 6. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
I tell you, we're taking a look at some real deficiencies defensively. I mean, they've given up 5 straight good looks in the paint.
Jackson finds Brooks. No good on the triple. And here's Fournier. He brings it up for the Houston Rockets. It's a 5-point game. Pass to Porter. Here's Nwaba. Brooks covering. Now, here's Nwaba. T right on him. Nwaba. Great positioning on the putback.
Oh, they own the interior right now. 10 straight points coming from inside.
Well, constantly finding lanes to the basket, getting great looks inside.
Now here's Brooks. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Sinks the triple.
Desmond Bane.
Bane's got a pair of threes now in the first quarter for the Grizzlies.
Outstanding start from three-point range. Their shooters are on fire.
It really makes them a hard team to guard because they space you out so well.
Porter, no luck. Memphis leading by 6. Now the pass to Bane. Shoots over Fournier. Nwaba with the rebound.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
The baseline J off the mark.
You look at him, and he's a little hit and miss from there, even without a defender in his face. No guarantee.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis.
The loudest and craziest fan get a free T-shirt. Let's see it, man. Grizzly substitution.
Here's Bane. And it's good, but hold on. The officials may want to look at that one on the replay monitor. And it looks like they are going to review the play. The question, did he get the basket off in time?
And the footage relayed to the officials from the replay center in Secaucus, I think he got it off in time. The replay leaving little doubt.
But to me, it's worth being certain. And that's why we have replay, to get these big calls right.
Now they're going to switch the call. There is no doubt, looking at the replay, that he got it off in time.
Well, it's good they decided to take another look at it. I know some folks don't like how replay slows the game down and interrupts the flow, but when you have it there, you got to use it.
And so it's the Memphis Grizzlies in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And one of the better young two-way big men in the NBA, Jaren Jackson. He talked about how his defensive responsibilities grow.
Probably be more of a backline help, talk more, give more help for the rotations because, you know, depending on what team you play, there's a lot of specific things you got to do to guard a certain player.
Now with his 7'4" wingspan, Jackson has all the tools to be an elite rim protector.
But advanced understanding of positioning. His father was an NBA player, so he's been taught the game from a young age.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Noche Latina in the NBA as we resume action. All right, well, look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Grizzlies.
Guys, they are dialed in from beyond right now. They didn't waste any time getting into a groove in this game.
You know, it also hasn't taken them long to make their mark in the paint. I mean, they're doing a lot of their scoring from in there.
You've got David Nwaba. Kevin Porter is out there with DJ Augustine. And it's Şengün in at the 5. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. It's a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. The Houston Rockets are rebuilding. That's a hard pivot for a team that, until last season, was pursuing titles. The new front office has been candid. It's presented challenges as they look to go young and stack up draft picks. They plan to make constant bets on unproven talent as they build toward the future. Kevin?
All right, David, thank you. Here's Martin, and finished off by Martin.
Hello. That's what I call a move.
That is some artistry. Greg, you're right. On his way to the basket, he was soaring.
Hey, bump the move. How about the finish? That's right, fella. Bang that thing.
Here's Porter. Doesn't go for him. And it's Memphis the other way. Their next game, playing at home, is the Nets coming to town. And that game will kick off a 4-game homestand.
Not the last time we see that. Adams is so powerful and loves to take it to the defense.
This is his third trip to the free throw line.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as you'd like.
You know, his performance at the foul line this season might be the first thing he points to as a priority to improve.
He's off on the first. Some super teams come together, Clark, on paper, and they look like sure things for the finals. But just how important are the other things, the intangibles?
Yeah, I think the intangibles, Kevin, are the most important things. When you talk about chemistry, trust, connectedness, those things just don't happen because you have great talent in 3 or 4 players. You have to have a team that's committed to one another and that trusts one another, and it takes time to build that into a championship caliber unit. So those intangibles are really important if you're going to win a championship.
Porter finds Tice. To the inside, Augustine. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. Morant's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
And you like to see this from Brooks, right? No need to fall in love with the jump shot. Give the defense different looks.
And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. Here's Augustine. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Porter passes to Şengün. Here's Tice. Score of the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Morant scanning the floor. Here's Bane. 10 points for him. Down low. Adams draws contact on the shot, and now a 3-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
That's his first
And a little
personal foul.
contact like that won't slow Adams down. This is a guy who loves the contact
Shooting
and able
for
to finish
Memphis.
easily on that
Steven
one.
Adams.
This will make 4 trips to the line so far in the game. Tate, he's checked in for Houston. Throw good, Adams. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Pass to Augustine. That one doesn't go. Morant with some nice D. Bain passes to Brooks. Adams trying to free himself up. Nice shot by Brooks. Brooks has got the lead up to 9 now for the Grizzlies. For Houston, they've gone 3 of 8 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Bounce pass from Augustine. Waba kicks to Augustine. Adams, some nice D.
And once he had to change his shot in the face of the D, you just had a feeling that one wasn't going to fall.
Morant outside. Drives to the hoop. Good work there as it goes. And it's an 11-point Grizzly lead.
The contact can't trip Morant up. He just glides past it and into his shot. And coming out of high school, John Morant said he was a no-star recruit. One reason he may have been overlooked was his small-town upbringing, growing up in Dalzell, South Carolina.
Anderson outside. The 3. And again, it's the Grizzlies from deep.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
If it's working, keep working it. That's what I say. Keep the pressure on them.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. And even though he played on an AAU team with Zion Williamson, scouts, Greg, were looking right past John Morant.
And didn't get a lot of offers at first. After 2 years at Murray State, he joined Steph Curry and Damian Lillard as another star point guard out of a mid-major program. And to this day, he carries that underdog chip on his shoulders.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Christian Woods checked in for David Nwaba. Green comes in for Porter. And John Wall subbed in for Augustine.
Well, we talk about it all the time. Hard work pays off, and Wood works extremely hard to fight for the finish he wanted there.
Williams scanning the floor. Morant against Wood. The kick out to Williams. Shot clock at 6. And the foul on Jayshawn Tate. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Picking up his second foul here. Has to be careful because they can pile up quickly.
Outside Williams. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And Anderson gets it to go.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Rockets trail by 14. Outside Green. Ball against Morant. Now here's Wall. Defense is right there. And finished off by Wood.
Well, Wood's so impressive as a shooter. Not only does he make shots, but he's highly efficient. He does not take bad shots.
Morant outside. Passes to Bain. Back to Morant. And finished off by Morant.
And how about that display of athleticism by Morant, flying up in the air for the jam.
For Houston, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field here in the second. Wall passes to Wood, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Wall.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
And here are the Grizzlies now. They're on a 16-6 run. Morant against Wall. And here's Morant. He's got 11. Anderson outside from deep. It's hauled in by Wood.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Here's Tate. The kick out to Wall. Another shot. And he lays it up and in. Wall's got 6.
So much fun to watch John Wall get tricky with the rock and create for himself. That is special work right there.
Pass to Bain. Into the lane, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And when the score is as lopsided as it is, and you can see they smell blood in the water, the top man is going for the jugular.
Well, he only plays one way, and that's full throttle, all day, all the time, cold-blooded and lethal.
Outside, Wall to the middle. That one's good, and the Grizzly lead is cut down to just 12 points on the bucket from Tice.
Wall, a top-tier distributor. There's no denying that. He maintains incredible court awareness at all times on the floor.
The pass to Tillman. Over in the corner, Williams. He kicks it to Anderson. Just 5 to shoot. Driving the lane, and Anderson slams it in.
Anderson.
Just shook his man loose with a crafty play inside.
And then the dunk just tops it off beautifully.
High-level skills being showcased out there now, fellas. I mean, that was a terrific hoop.
Morant against Wall. And Wall slams it home.
Well, it takes elevation to finish like Wall here, and that's not a dunk that just anybody can pull off. You got to have some special ability to do that.
Pass to Bain. Outside Williams. Here's Bain. He's got 12. Driving to the... Oh, what a play!
Rockets call
Wow,
timeout.
and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark.
And guys, I know there are a lot of questions right now defensively for this team. There's no doubt about that.
And team strategies closely guarded. One aspect of the game the fans aren't always privy to.
Yeah, typically, there's some type of adjustment made out of a timeout. It might be major, or it could be just a slight tweak.
So for the Rockets, Kenyon Martin Jr. comes in for Daniel Tice, and Evan Fournier subbed in for Tate. Memphis also making some changes. Brandon Clark, he's checked in for Kyle Anderson. DeAnthony Melton comes in for Bain, and Conchar subbed in for Morant. On the wing, Melton, guarded by Green. Melton, no good. Rockets trail by 14. Right side, Green. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. They are coming off that win against Atlanta.
And sometimes it's a lot harder to get easy looks on the road, but they found ways to get their guys good looks.
And it was funny, the road arena didn't bother them at all. I mean, they locked in, focused, and executed, and got it done.
Here's Melton. From outside, off the mark. The Rockets shooting pretty good tonight at 48%. Here's Martin. Wood trying to free himself up. That one's good, and the Grizzly lead is cut down to just 12 points on the bucket from Martin. Clark against Martin. And oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Outside, Green. Driving inside. And Green slams it in.
Oh, that's a major league throwdown.
Keeps a tight grip on that rim, too, after the finish.
Maybe that'll help them recapture their edge a little bit, guys.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies. Check in for Memphis. Memphis leading by 10. Clark with it. 8 points his last outing. Here's Bain. Back to Clark. It's stolen by Martin. Inside.
2
It's
minutes remaining
deflected.
in the first half.
And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here.
Great instincts from him to get a hand on that pass and tip it out.
And, you know, even though they didn't come up with the steal, that's still a nice defensive play.
1:58 left in the first half, and the shot goes in.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
To the inside, Tillman. And a good offensive board, and he gets the bucket.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
And growing up just outside of Paris, Evan Fournier got hooked on the NBA back in 2002, watching that classic Kings-Lakers conference final series.
And, Greg, we hear that story from other international players as well. I mean, guys like Evan who grew up in Europe watching NBA basketball. You got to give Adam Silver, and even before him, David Stern, the prior commissioner, a lot of credit for growing the league internationally.
And that one falls for Fournier.
And in a relatively short time, Fournier has really increased his role in the league. I mean, he's a player you have to guard and keep an eye on at all times.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. David Nwaba is checked in for Green, and Porter subbed in for John Wall. And so Fournier nails both of them. We've got 1:23 left to play in the first half. Clark outside. Here's Conchard. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. 6 to shoot. Driving in. Gets it to fall. The bucket from Bain.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Boy, the defense looks shell-shocked. I mean, they're on the ropes right now, on their heels.
For 3, Fournier. Good, and a nice assist from Porter. Fournier's got 5 points now this quarter.
Boy, Fournier is an excellent shooter from distance, and that really helps his team space the floor.
Clark, the pass to Conchard. There's 38 seconds left here in the second. Great D that time for Martin.
Memphis foul. John Conchard. That's his first personal foul. Second team
For
foul.
Houston, they have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
Houston.
Not really where you'd like to be as a team in terms of free throw shooting, just about 73%.
You know, they've really put themselves behind the 8 ball in so many of their games because they just have not been able to knock down those foul shots.
And both free throws good for Martin.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
And maybe cause some foul trouble along the way as well. We know what that can do. It pays off typically in good fashion for you.
And he drives in. Good on the bucket.
Desmond
Bain's
Bane.
got 18 points in the game.
And he's caught fire this quarter, yet to miss a shot.
Now Fournier, he's got 5. Tries it from the top of the key, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. 7 points in the game.
Fournier is somebody you can't allow to get comfortable. I mean, his jumper is cash moolah.
And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Grizzlies lead by 5. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Hey, Kevin, thanks a lot. John, how effective were you offensively in the first half?
No, it was good. Just try to get my rhythm, just try to find my teammates, make the job easy for us, and let the game come to me.
Very good performance so far, John. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports. the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
It's Memphis out in front at the half. They have a 5-point lead. Kenny, how'd you feel about it?
Well, the three-point shooting was the key thus far. When you're knocking down those shots from the perimeter, it really spreads the floor. You demand respect from the defense. We'll see if they can keep it flowing in the second half.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Rockets.
I'd like to see them get to the line more, but to do that, you got to be aggressive. Force the action, drive the lane, make the defense react to what you're doing. If they can do that, I think they have a good chance of pulling out a win.